Lockdown week 2. Wow. I couldn't be bothered to do any filming last week. It gets in the way, but I got some stuff done. I sanded back where the water had been coming in on the decks, and sealed that all in, and all the holes that are in the, so we live in the transom, so we're not letting so much water in now. And I'm sort of in a bit of a state, honestly, as to the way forward. I was gonna, you've looked at the foam before when it arrived, but I mean I think it was 200. It's about £80 a sheet or something. It was a lot of money. This foam that I've had for a while. I was going to make the deck and the stuff on the back all in foam and glass fibre over the top of it, but the glass fibre quantities involved in doing that are absolutely enormous. You know, kilos and kilos and meters and meters and meters of cloth. And now, you know, I don't know where the next bit of money is going to come from. So, quite apart from the fact that materials are becoming difficult to get hold of, I'm sort of having to rethink it, I think. I am, and having a look around the materials that I've got here. Because this, like, isn't my place. I'm staying here. It's owned by some builders, and they came and dumped a load of stuff here. There's all sorts of bits and pieces, but there's some like half-used materials that I can use if I want. I've been given permission. So we've got like the type of, instead of epoxy, I've got quite a lot of the resin which you would make flat roofs out of. A bit of masonry paint. I've got quite a bit of that. I'll show you sheets and sheets of the, it's acrylic with resin. This, quite a few lengths of this timber here, tannalized 6x1. How do I say that is? Oh yeah, quite a few sheets of this material, which is it's some sort of plastic with aluminium facings on it. I got some sheets of that, and it's quite bendy. It doesn't delaminate when you bend it. I've gave it a bit of a bend before, so I'll get another sheet. And together with, you can see what time of year it is now, so we're between at the end of daffodils and we're about to get into tulips, but we're sort of still in bluebells a little bit. Right, is just thinking about what I really want to do with this and trying to appreciate the extent of the space that is because, right, we discussed this before, this bit in the galley, and you know, I did that thing before, and honestly, if we're bringing these decks flat out here, there's not a lot of space here. There's certainly not a feeling of spaciousness. And you really want to, you do want to sort of, to some extent, to be able to handle stuff around here. So to think about, it's like, I think it might be a bit constrained, and I definitely want to be able to sit here and, you know, I don't want to put a, because this is, I'm sort of thinking aloud here, we'll do this today, is this level at the top here, that's pretty much flat straight through there. I did have quite an angle on there, but I'll have a look at it. This is the amount of space that I really want. It is. So I've got some different materials, and I've got a different thought about you know, how I want this space to work. So I'll do some playing with that, because it's really doing my head in, actually. It is, I'm just thinking it round and round and round in my head, and it's doing my head in. So I'll try and get past that this week. Maybe make it up in a bit of cardboard, see how we get on. There you are. Week 2. But yeah, I was just chatting to there's a guy over the road. We're really close to the hospital here. This is a lockdown report. This is a COVID-19 lockdown report. Yeah, there's a guy over the road smoking a fag. I thought I'd go and, you know, talk across the street with him. He works at the hospital, radiographer. Not testing. Routinely patients. And yeah, he was giving a chest x-ray with someone with a chest complaint yesterday, just on a general ward with no protective equipment. They tested him then. He had COVID-19, and so he'd been on a general ward, this guy. The radiographer had tested him without any protective clothing. The radiographer, it just doesn't bear thinking about. And then at the same time, like just down the road, the police in a police car going up and talking to some people walking. It's the way to the park up here. Just going right up, standing right next to one another, the police, from the same car, the police, going right up to people and talking to them. What? Have the police got the virus? They're not leaving 2 meters between the people they're trying to stop from going to the park. What are they doing going and spreading the place around? I don't know. This country is moronic. It is moronic. The response to this thing is absolutely moronic. There's no other word for it. They must want it to spread. Mental. Wow. I've just been scraping paint. I think it's the last of the paint that needs scraping, actually. Some of the victim gets flown into the hospital there in a helicopter. And I've been comparing the kind of the obsession that I've had with design. I mean, I do design buildings, it's my job. But you know, the extent to which it's kind of stopped me from getting on with the boat, trying to think what it is I want to do with the boat. Roger Taylor, Ming Ming, Simple Sailor, you can find him on YouTube, there'll be a link in the description to his work. And he produced a whole reconstruction like I'm doing with one drawing, you know, a basic aim, and then just allowed it to evolve the design as he built it. And you know, I think it's a bit sort of like catastrophizing about the virus and going and buying a load of toilet roll. I haven't gone and bought a load of toilet roll. I might have a slight surfeit of tins of fish, perhaps, maybe a lot of couscous, but just in case, you know, if we try to think our way into the future, it's not healthy, I don't think, too far. If we can't allow what is to be, and to shut ourselves off the possibility of what might be, you know, destined to happen, or to the which is, you know, sort of provided. I didn't plan to be in a bungalow for years on end, for it suddenly to be provided to me on the, you know, the day after I surrendered my council flat. I didn't, you know, intend for that. So I think we should be quite careful to not think too far into the future. And it's on that basis. I've got some ideas. So I've got a general sketch I worked out talking to my mate the other day, and I've got a bit of a plan about the sort of the logistics that are involved, as the general plan of a bulkhead that's required to make that happen. But in terms of how that is going to be built, I could sit here all day long trying to work it out, but I think I'll just move on each day, doing that which is apparent to me to do, with a view of finishing, and allow the thing to evolve in its own way, day by day, and try and calm myself. As I say, it's been doing my head in. I've been allowing it to do my head in. That is what I've been doing. I've been thinking that I can know the future. Well, I can't. That's simple. That's simple.